And the award for the best host goes to the cameraman.
What? You're kidding me? You're seriously giving the award to the cameraman Jorge? I mean, he's a nice guy, but this is ridiculous. Do you know what? Forget about it. Let's just start the show. Let's get into the NitroNights episode. Congratulations, Jorge. Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of NitroNights. So glad you could come and join us because this week on the show, we're looking back at everything that happened at the weekend. You may have seen it. There was a small, very tiny, I'm not surprised if you missed it. It was called Gamescom. Well, anyway, we'll be talking about that, plus a whole host of other stuff. And as always on NitroNights, we will have a guest, and I'm delighted to say that Tommy Østgaard is going to be joining us. If you don't know that name, you should do, but here's everything you need to know about the man behind the wheel.
At 27 years old, you might assume that he'd be a veteran in the virtual seat. But he's still pretty new to it, with only 3 years of professional esports racing under his seatbelt. Over these 3 years, Tommy Østgaard has managed to accomplish what others could only dream of. He won a race in the Porsche TagHeuer Esports Supercup and placed 10th overall last season. He even managed to finish second in the iRacing Road Pro Series. However, all this pales in comparison to the Norwegian's performance in the 24 Hours of Le Mans Virtual, where he managed to win together with his teammate Joshua Rogers. With results like these, you'll be sure to be hearing the name Tommy Østgaard a lot more in future.
So there you have it then. Tommy Østgaard joining us on NitroNights. So glad to have him on the show. Tommy, how are you doing?
I'm all good, thanks.
It's great to have you here. Listen, currently competing in the Porsche TagHeuer Esports Supercup, a brilliant weekend for you at Spa, finishing 4th in the main event, currently 7th in the standings. How has the season been for you?
It's been, pretty spectacular. I started off very strong, and then I've had some couple of bad rounds, but luckily now at Spa I managed to bounce back. So, very happy with that result.
Now, Tommy, let me get this right. I'm gonna read to you your CV. You are a racing driver, A, a car developer, B, a test driver, and a coach as well. Have I missed anything out there, Tommy?
Well, the car developer part is for sim racing, though, and it was, so I'm not doing it anymore. But that sounds about right.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, in terms of coaching and being a test driver, how do those opportunities come about? How did you make them happen?
Well, for me, I've always had a passion for motorsport and development and technology. And luckily for me, I won some championships in Norway, which got me an opportunity to go to the UK and visit some simulator centers. And then, I moved to the UK and just started working there because I performed pretty well on the simulator. And I had ideas on how we could improve the center. And luckily, I got the opportunity to start working there and, do what I love.
Yeah, well, it sounds like an amazing journey. Just opportunity came about. You made the most of it, I guess. And now, I have to bring this up. Coanda Simsport, you're representing, just got a new teammate, Dayne Warren, who is currently in 6th place in the standings. What's it like to have a teammate who's only 9 points ahead of you?
Well, obviously you want to be, as high up the standings as you can, but I think it's great to have Dayne on the team. You rather want to have the guys above you in the team that you're in rather than that's your opponent. So Dayne is an incredible driver. He's still very young and has a lot of pace. So I think he really contributes to push everyone in the team. So it's great to have him on board.
Yeah, and he's not the only teammate you have. It would be rude of me not to mention him. Joshua Rogers, a former champ, currently sitting in 2nd place in the standings behind Sebastian Job. What's it like to have such a strong team? And I know that you are so positive on Twitter and you talk about the, welcoming new teammates. But what's it really like? Is there a bit of rivalry? Do they push you or is it purely just a friendship?
Well, most of all, it's just friendship, but they definitely push you. We share all the data. So leading up to a race weekend, we work together and we share the data. We work on the setups together and we help each other improve and we do some battling. and we really try to up our game as a team. But obviously, when the green flag drops, then you are competitors on the track. So you do fight and you do want to finish ahead of your teammates, but you try to be a little bit more respectful with your teammates than the other drivers, because the worst thing you can do is take out your friend and teammate. So, but we are battling for sure. But now that the championship is sort of coming to a close, you have to look at the standings and see who's in your team have the best opportunities, and maybe not, push them as hard as you would maybe perhaps at the start of the season.
Okay, all right. So if I get that clear then, Tommy, you're saying they are your teammates. As long as you don't take them out, you're still rivals. But once the checkered flag goes down, then you're back to being friends and working together.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. Now, I want to know, Tommy, with you, in terms of, and I should have congratulated you off the bat, Le Mans virtual competition. Congratulations for winning that. In terms of your career highlights and the highs and lows, where does that sit amongst them?
Well, that is definitely the biggest. I did win at Spa in the Porsche TagHeuer Esports Supercup last year, which was very big as well. But winning the Le Mans, which is a huge event, probably the biggest in sim racing history, for Porsche with my teammates, nothing really comes close to that. So definitely my highlight and a dream come true. It's basically what you dreamed like sim racing could be earlier, and then you just sort of have that dream coming true in a weekend. So it really took a long time before it sort of realized what has actually happened. But it's a weekend I won't ever forget.
Yeah, and of course, you almost didn't make the competition. You didn't even make the race due to injury. So a massive kudos to you, Tommy, for that. Listen, I am enjoying the long answers. I'm enjoying the questions as well. But I feel like we need to get into the quick fire questions. Are you ready for this, Tommy?
I have to be, I guess.
Okay, your time starts now. Here we go then. Favorite racing game?
iRacing.
Favorite driver?
Lewis Hamilton.
Favorite car?
The Porsche 911 GT3 RS.
Okay. Biggest rival?
Boris Lerner.
Okay, I was wondering if you're going to say Joshua Rogers, but okay. Most hated track?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think can't say Lamar because that's good to me. Donington.
Okay, and obviously Gamescom has just taken place. So in terms of future sim racing games to come out, what are you most looking forward to?
To be honest, there's a lot of updates coming for different things, but I haven't really been watching Gamescom that much, so I don't really know.
Okay, so you're looking forward most of all to all of the patch updates. Love it, Tommy. Thank you very much for the quick fire questions and your answers. That wasn't too stressful for you, was it? Okay?
It's okay. Yeah, it's hard to answer when you get a nice quick.
Yeah, okay. Well, listen, I'll tell you what, Tommy, stick around because you have to take part in the hot lap. But in the meantime, I want to get into the deep dive. Of course, I just mentioned it. Gamescom happened. That is the biggest event in the gaming industry. And let's take a quick look at all of the things that affect us racing fans.
This year's Gamescom is over and has delivered some real surprises to the racing games community. Some in terms of gaming content, others in terms of confusing awards. Here's a brief overview of what Gamescom had in store for us. Dirt 5 has revealed some footage of its new playground mode. Create your own track, share with the community, and get track suggestions according to your taste. Playground has 3 different types of game. Gatecrasher is a simple checkpoint race, while Smash Attack lets you search and destroy objectives. And Gymkhana makes its comeback from Dirt 3, challenging you to connect jumps and slides to collect as many points as possible. If you want to find out more about Playground, go and check out our Overtake preview video to get hands-on insights. Codemasters has also revealed the mysterious vampire mode, so let's grab some garlic and find out what this is all about. Dirt 5 also won the Gamescom award for Best Racing Game, defeating its in-house rival Project Cars 3. However, Project Cars didn't leave empty-handed. While celebrating its official launch during Gamescom, the game also won the award for Best Simulation. This triggered massive confusion among fans and insiders. Project Cars is not widely accepted as a sim, and many people wonder how it could stand its ground against rival titles such as Microsoft's Flight Simulator. Fun racer Hotshot Racing by Curve Digital has also re-entered the scene and was finally given a release date. From the 10th of September, you'll be able to challenge both your friends and the internet in fast-paced crazy races, drift and boost your way through quirky, colourful tracks, or even become a cop to bust your opponents. Hotshot Racing promises 60 frames per second and offers 4-player split screen for some crazy couch sessions. This game will take you back to the roots of racing games in a good way.
So there you have it then. Us racing fans can look forward to seeing some of those titles coming out. I like Hotshot Racing. I know my friends will enjoy that as well. So there you go. Gamescom done and dusted there. Still joining us in the screen right now is Tommy Østgaard. Tommy, now I need to know from you, Gamescom's happened. I imagine that you didn't get much time to see any of it with your training.
Yeah, it's been busy with the race and practicing for it, so I don't really have much time in general. So especially when it's a race weekend, it's not have the time.
Yeah, but you must have seen it though. Project Cars 3 was awarded Best Simulation Award. What is your take on that? It seems to have, been a bit of a sore subject for some people. Some people agree. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I don't know what to say really, because it's really a joke, to be honest. I can't see how that can win. I haven't played it though, so please excuse that. But seeing it and seeing other people review it, it really just can't be, winning that. There's so many other great simulations that could have won it. So no idea what they thought there.
Okay, so even though you didn't see Gamescom, you were shocked as well. But as you haven't played it, you can't really comment too much. I take that on board. If there was, though, a particular title, maybe like another sim racing hardcore title to come out, what would it need to have to get you to get on board with it?
Well, it needs to simulate, the racing as close as possible. But I think also a big element is the online thing and competing against others. So for me, especially, the competition is, where it's at, and having big competitions with a very high level of competitors competing and having the cars, being as close to the real deal as possible always helps. And also the track and just the camera and how it looks. I think that's important for a simulation as well. Like, it has to look real. If the cars are just floating on top of the surface, it doesn't look good, and it doesn't feel good either.
Yeah, but do you think, though, there's enough room for one? There seems to be so many great titles already. Is there room for another one?
If there is one that, blows the others out of the water, I think so. I think competition is very good because it helps everyone push just a little bit harder. But at the same time, you don't want to divide the community too much. You want the best drivers in the series to make sure that the competition is as high as possible. So it needs to be really good to take that space.
Yeah, and of course, there's always new changes. I know, for example, iRacing bringing out tyre compound changes as well, soft, medium, hard as well. People are getting very excited about that. But do you find much time from your training? I mean, give people an example of how much time you're dedicating to your craft. Does it even allow you any time to play any other titles?
I do try to schedule my days so that I have some spare time in the evening, but it's how you want to spend that spare time. So this year, I've pretty much just done sim racing 8 hours a day. So I've normally been up at 7, doing 2 hours of sim racing, and then having breakfast, and doing some more sim racing, having lunch, working out, and then finishing off with some more sim racing.
Wow.
So you just try to work out on your physical and your mental, as well as being there on the track and trying to develop as a driver, and doing a lot of data analysis, comparing myself to my teammates, and just really trying to find the last 10% to push myself and my body as much as I can.
Yeah, I mean, the schedule you gave me there, Tommy, is there been any minutes to play any Fall Guys? That seems to be what I'm playing a lot of at the moment. Anytime?
I've had some, I've been playing some Fall Guys in the evenings, actually. So I did, try to get some time at evenings where I can do completely different things than sim racing. Just disconnect a bit. So Fall Guys and also Flight Simulator has been popular in there.
That's very cool. Well, listen, Tommy, I want an opportunity for our community to get on board as well in our socials. So let's go to the social showroom right now. All right, then. So we kickstart with the social showroom this week with a poll. We asked you guys, I love my favorite racing game because of, and we give you 4 options: graphics, physics, multiplayer, or variety of cars. And staggeringly, with 48.6%, you said it was the physics that make you love that game. What would you say on that, Tommy? Would you agree?
Yeah, it would be between multiplayer and physics, but physics is the number one.
Okay, number one on that. All right, now, here's the thing. We've already spoken about Project Cars 3, but Ben Kosaduris, a guest that actually, Tommy, you'll be trying to beat in the hot lap later on, said this: Project Cars 3 wins best simulation at Gamescom. Cody's didn't even build it as a sim, removing things like tire wear. I genuinely don't understand how Assetto Corsa Competizione has been overlooked. And then he says, overtake_GG, time to roll out that writer who complains about our shirts for Le Mans Virtual. I'm detecting a little bit of bitterness there from Ben. But anyway, listen, we have done just that, Ben. So you can check it out online at overtake.gg and it will all be there for you. We've already spoken about it, Tommy, so don't worry. I'm not going to come to you again. But when you come back on the show on NitroNights, I would like you to have played it. Just if you can take 5 minutes out. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, good. Right, moving on. Hala, a fantastic influencer, actually got dressed up to race the other day, and I'm loving that setup. As you know, it obviously makes you go a lot faster. It worked for him. So, Tommy, what do you think? Getting up in a proper full racing gear, is it going to make you more composed, help with concentration? You used to be a coach, so let me know.
Well, it's pretty warm in here when I start racing without the equipment on, so I don't think that would help much.
Okay, fair enough. But I like the commitment, though, and putting the helmet on as well. Moving on to iRacing, this is where you can help us out. Obviously, a big announcement. Dallara has come out, and the P217 arrives next season. Your new chariot awaits. Very exciting for iRacing fans. Tommy, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, the sound is really, really good, and it looks very nice. So I think it will really add a lot to multi-class racing and the endurance races on iRacing. So I'm really looking forward to try it out.
Okay, all right. Well, if you do try it out, I want you in the full getup and the helmet as well. That is the social showroom done for this week on NitroNights. We're heading on now, obviously, to the hot lap, Tommy. How are you feeling about this? You understand you are trying to beat every other guest that has come on the show and to beat their time on Trackmania. You're all doing the same track. So first of all, what experience have you got on Trackmania?
I used to play it some at high school. But that's like a million years ago, so it's been a long time.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, if you want any advice, because currently the standings look like this, and it all depends on how you look at it, because I could be top of the leaderboard with 1 minute 37. Then you have Mac Backham, who's got 1 minute 3, and Ben Constanduris has got 58 seconds. So do you need any tips from me at all before you get into this challenge?
No, I think she'll be all right.
Okay.
I just need to win.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Absolutely fine. I was only going to say go really fast and don't go off the track, which I did. So listen, best of luck, Tommy. You are taking on the hot lap. All right, then. Here we go. Tommy Østgaard getting off to a fantastic start here. 3 minutes.
That was pretty good.
Very good. Here we go. If you'd have taken my tips on board, I could have helped you, but you seem to be doing very well. Loop the loop. This, I have to say, is looking very good. Well controlled around the corners.
Oh. Bit slow in the final section there.
This you go. Just 8 seconds to beat. Here we go. Can you make it? It's done.
Yes.
There we go. Tommy Østgaard,
Yeah,
no mucking around. First attempt, had all of the 3 minutes to use, but he has delivered. Tommy, how do you feel after that? That was perfection almost.
Yeah, I don't think I could have done it much better. I was a little bit slow there at the end, but I'm so happy with that first tricky section.
Yeah, the smile on your face right now. You are now top of the leaderboard. You have knocked down into second place Ben Constanduris. Obviously, I'm now into fourth, so I'm not very happy about that. But that is fantastic. Did you feel the pressure?
Yeah, it's like in the Porsche TagHeuer Esports Supercup races, you're sweaty and feeling the pressure.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, you handled it like an absolute professional. Listen, Tommy Østgaard, what an absolute pleasure it has been to get you on NitroNights. Have you enjoyed being a guest today?
It's been awesome, so thanks a lot for having me.
And listen, best of luck for the rest of the tournament in the Porsche TagHeuer Esports Supercup. Are we going to see you in the top 3, maybe in the Nordschleife?
Well, it's going to be difficult because it looks like I'll have to start from the back after a penalty. But I will do my best. So hopefully I can come through the field and score some good points at the end.
Well, fingers crossed for you, Tommy. Listen, enjoy the rest of your day. I know you've got a busy schedule. Pleasure to have you on the show. Hopefully you'll be back soon and we can have you on as a guest again. Take care.
That'll be awesome. Thanks, guys.
So there you have it. Tommy Østgaard on NitroNights. That is almost the end of the show. But wait, there's just one more thing. It is time for the NitroNights Newsflash. Are you ready for the Newsflash? Well, here it comes. Let's start off this week with the F1 Esports 2020 Pro Draft. 237,000 drivers tried to qualify for the draft. 45 made it to the final stage where 10 real-world F1 teams would make their picks for the $750,000 tournament. Former Renault driver Simon Weigang was the first pick in the draft, selected by Haas F1 Esports team. The former first pick in the 2018 draft, Tino Naukrinen, was selected by Red Bull and joins a very strong team of Marcel Kiefer and Freddie Rasmussen. Mercedes picked up the exciting and rapid driver Barry Boromond, who won the Iranian National Karting Championship. They also picked up experienced Bono Huis outside the draft, who is the 5-time Formula Sim Racing champion. Mark my words, it is going to be an incredibly interesting tournament. Stay tuned for more on that. Moving on to the Porsche TagHeuer Esports Supercup taking place on Spa. This was round 9, and well, what can I say other than it was day dominated by Sebastian Job. He had his first pole position of the tournament in the sprint. However, De Jong and Ellis Jr. overtook him early on, but a well-timed overtake on the straight sent him back up to first, where he finished. Moving on into the 30-minute main race, Job started in pole and never lost his place, bringing in 2 wins for the day. That is now 5 wins for him in total for the season, which means in the standings, Job is 45 points ahead of second place, Joshua Rogers. Up next is the Nürburgring Nordschleife. And finally, the Porsche Esports Carrera Cup final. I personally cannot wait for this one. After the thrilling qualification rounds, the field is finally set for the final, which takes place on the 5th of September. 14 sim racers and 6 real-world drivers go head-to-head for €15,000 in prize money. Moritz Lerner dominated in the semis and is favourite amongst sim racers. As for the real-world drivers, Michael Essmann, who has won several Porsche Sports Cups and last year's Super Cup champion Lauren Heinrich, will compete. It is going to be spicy, guys. Right, that is your news flash done and dusted. You are welcome. And unfortunately, I have to say, that brings us to an end for today's episode of NitroNights. It's been a pleasure to have you with me. And this is the sad news. It brings my 5 shows in a row streak to an end, as next week, Indiana will be back. That's actually pretty exciting news. In the meantime, I get to say it one final time. Buckle up and see you soon.